Gas detected.
Deploy Razorback. I'm going to check on Dawson and Carter.
Air quality acceptable.
Tango still back.
Going off this data Isaac transmitted.
What is going on, everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed that video of dropping Weasel. Remember, we do run an aces and eights, and we do run a tip of the spear, but for the rest of us, we are running sniper builds. Now, the sniper build that I use in particular, and the sniper build that I like, is the one that I'm about to show you. So let's get into it. So if we look at the build itself, I'm running 8 offensive, 8 utility. Now, I would like to get one of those utility and put it in offensive, but this is how I have my build set up currently until I can get something with a little bit of different roles. So if we go into the weapon that I'll be using for Weasel, it's going to be the Nemesis. Right off the bat, you'll see it's hitting for 530,000 base damage, right? That's without the charge, without the talents procced. So that is a talent. That is the weapon I will be using for Weasel. Everything in there, I'm going to be sniping with my Nemesis. Now, the build itself has 179,000 armor, 27,000 health, so you're super squishy, and then the skill power is 1890, which is because we're running 8 utility. Now for the mask, I'm running a Sokolov mask. This is going to give me 10% SMG damage, 39% damage to elites right there. This is maxed out right now. Hopefully in the future, I think in the PTS now that you will be able to max this out whatever high roll you have, so I'll be able to bump this up because I have some 40 plus damage to elite rolls I can put on here. It has skill power, skill haste, so I get 2 utility there. Has spotter, that 20% weapon damage to pulse enemies, and that's why you have a tip of the spear, because that with spotter, it's going to make a lot of damage. We get into the chest. The chest is a 511 chest, 41k base armor on here. We have 5% protection from elites. So I stacked headshot damage, 19% headshot damage. Then we have 9% weapon damage. I have another yellow, so I have another utility on here for skill power. We have hard hitting on the chest, and then we have 2 offensive mod slots. That's why I like this 511 piece, and that's going to give me 5% marksman rifle damage on one mod plus 1% weapon damage, and then the other one's going to give me another 5% marksman rifle damage and another 1% weapon damage. We go down into the holster. The holster is going to be a Lauderdale holster. I'm running a 3-piece, so I get that 10% accuracy, 10% headshot damage, 10% marksman rifle damage. I'm running a yellow here, so if I could get an Araldi with red and a red, I could probably put that, but you really don't need it here. I'd rather get something that I can get another offensive slot. So this has 547 skill power. It has hard hitting with 10% damage to elites, and then it has an offensive mod slot that's going to give me 4% marksman rifle damage and 1.5 weapon damage. Now we get to the knee pads. The knee pads is another one. Douglas and Harding have 5% accuracy. We get the 354 skill power. It gives me hard hitting on there. And then I have an offensive mod slot. It gives me another 4% marksman rifle damage and 2% weapon damage. So I have some pretty good offensive mods that allow me to hit hard with this Nemesis. Then we get into the gloves. The gloves are going to have 11% marksman rifle damage on there, and then I have Wicked, 10% weapon damage to status effect enemies. And what we do, and what I recommend you doing, is putting a turret near where the bosses drop down, so then Wicked will be active for the people who are running Wicked. Now, if you're not going to run any kind of status effect, you can put something like damage to elites on there. And we get into the backpack. Now, this is where if I could get a backpack with 1 yellow, 1 red, this is where I could really change the build here. I could go 9 offensive, 7 utility. So I have accuracy, headshot damage, marksman rifle damage because, you know, the 3-piece. Then I have 2 yellows here. And then I have hard hitting for that 10% damage to elites. I have on the ropes, weapon damage is increased by 25% while all skills are on cooldown. So that's what I do. I make sure all skills are on cooldown, so that's procced. And then I have another utility mod. So either have utility system electronics mod right here, put offensive mod slot, or on the attributes on the backpack have 1 yellow, 1 red. A little bit better rolls. I can improve the build just a little bit more with that, and I'd be hitting pretty hard. So if I can get that weapon damage on the backpack, or get a utility mod slot with the offensive mod slot instead, ideally that's what I would be going for. Now, what I recommend doing is running something that's going to put you on cooldown pretty quick. So whatever you can pop, run a jammer pulse. It's going to put you on cooldown for 30 seconds. You'll be done with Weasel within 30 seconds from when he drops. So if you pop it, you'll be perfectly fine. And then throw out your booster hive or your revive hive. Throw it out, blow it up, and for 45 seconds, it'll be on cooldown. And that's what you want. You want to make sure these two are both on cooldown because you want on the ropes to be active for that extra 25%. Sorry, 25% weapon damage, right? And then if we go look at my stats real quick, right? Let me switch to my Nemesis. We're going to go down. Nemesis, we have 210% headshot damage. Go down a little bit more. All weapon damage is at 14.5%. Marksman rifle damage is at 54%. And then we also have the damage to elites is at 94%. So you stack that all up. And in the head, you're going to be hitting pretty hard. Even at the body, you'll hit hard. But in the head, that's where you're going to capitalize with this once you're charging this up. And that's pretty much how you run this build. It's a pretty simple build to run. The key to this is, since I do have low health, you want to make sure you drop those bosses quick or everybody on your team is probably going to drop because of the poison gas. So definitely you want to make sure you drop people quick with this build. You want on the ropes active, so you want to make sure both of these are on cooldown. So run whatever two you want. I found like these two work really good, and it only takes us about 30 seconds to complete that boss fight. So it's pretty fast. Spotter, you want it for when tip of the spear pulses. You get the tip of the spear bonuses, plus you get spotter right here. I'm just hitting pretty hard. Wicked, remember you can rotate this out if you want hard hitting or wicked. But that's how I run this build. If you guys have any questions on this, let me know in the comment section. I do appreciate all the support. If you guys want to know any other builds I've been running, check my playlist on the main channel or on this channel. But don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the videos. It does help me out. Leave a comment down below if you appreciate the videos, if you think this build is pretty good, where I could tweak it. Always love listening to what you guys have to say. And that's going to wrap it up. Until the next Division 2 video, nothing but skills out.